Thank you. It's good to see you all here. I'm actually very excited about the possibility of being here at TEDx. It's a great thing that we're actually jump-starting something. The people that have been organizing it, they're great. And welcome to the first TEDxUIdaho, all right? So I want a hand for all the organizers. It's just amazing. Anyway, so what has been going on is that the topic is let it go, maybe. It's really about habits. We have good habits, we have bad habits. Have the habit of, for example, dressing up nicely. That's a good habit, maybe. I do have a bad habit, however, and everybody's actually pointing this out, and I was actually pretty surprised. I go on stage, and it keeps happening, and everybody tells me, your shoes, man. And what actually happens with my shoes is like they're so comfortable that it's a habit I'm not going to let go. However, I'm actually willing of letting go so many other habits that it's okay, to actually keep the ones that make you comfortable. I mean, warm feet, being fine, being comfortable on stage, that's kind of important. I mean, at least to me, I'm a performer. I'm going to have a performance at the Kenworthy. I'm going to be wearing the same shoes, probably different clothes though. Now, I'm actually here to share with you a couple of stories. But before we begin, I want to acknowledge the fact that we're here because we want to mingle around people that listen. And that's why I'm actually choosing to talk about other people, because I actually had to listen, not only to my experiences to learn, I also had to listen to the experiences of other people. And that's the point, being able to communicate with your friends, your family, and also the people here in this room. It's probably one of the most important things we have to do. Glitches. Or the Matrix. Am I allowed to say that? Maybe not, but anyway. So, I want to talk about adversities. We all had lessons. We all had things that were a little bit challenging and things that actually cost us greatly. And what I mean by this, we tend to go ahead and clamp and get really attached to habits that are the ones that actually end up hurting us most. Personally, mine were financial. And the interesting thing is that those lessons, those little problems that I had, well, little, now I see them with a different perspective, and I'm like, interesting. They were not only shining a light on, it's like, okay, you have a problem financially, you also have a problem here, you also have a problem here, you have not a problem, but something that you have to pay attention to right now, otherwise it's going to keep hurting you. And I was like, yes, I need to take care of that, and boom, yeah, it hits you again. Really, I want to talk to you about a couple of friends of mine. One of them is a friend from Brazil who actually managed to actually stand his ground against something. Actually, it's a habit I have personally of when I mingle with certain group of people, I tend to behave more like them. I think we all do something like that. But I even tend to imitate accents. I know I'm from Argentina, I have a thick accent already, but you put me with British people, I start talking, it's like, hello, sir. And maybe that's not even British, but it doesn't, I guess you get the idea. What I mean by this is my friend, on the contrary, the lesson I just learned from him is that he got to stand his ground against a lot of people that was telling him, no, you should not do this, no, you should do that. That good habit, unfortunately, did cost him a lot. Have you ever had this little demon on your side, that actually is right behind you over here, and it's like red and sounds like Pluto, and he goes like, you should do this, it's going to be so much fun. And you're like, Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Well, that would be me. My friend on the other side, Gustavo, great harp player from Brazil, he actually stood his ground. He was in Brazil teaching harp in an institution. I don't know all the details, but he ended up losing his job because of he was actually charged with sexual harassment, and that was not the case. The incredible thing was that he was actually helping his students. He was actually connecting, listening to them. And the sad part was like standing his ground, doing what was right, in the short term, cost him his job, cost him a few students. He was very sad. He was emotionally very, very depressed. And poof, he just got wrapped up in that spiral, and it was going down for about a year, an entire year. I think it began in like March last year, so it was a year ago. And there's coincidences in life, right? It's like you experience that. It's like, oh my God, I was thinking about the same thing. What ended up happening is I contacted him on around August of last year, and I told him, hey, I have this great idea. It's about, no, not about activism. I don't need a clicker. But anyway, what happened is like, I tell him about the idea I was having about the Online Music Guild, and he was on board. He was actually trying to reconnect with all the people that he loved, all the people that he missed, and he couldn't do it. So the nice thing is, like, after a lot of struggles, he ended up finding himself a little bit better. He started relearning his footwork, to start dancing again. And believe me, the things that he's doing are incredible. He's basically a changed man. He's really a changed man. The other person I want to talk to you about is my friend Jenny. She's a soprano. I almost say she's also a soprano. But no, I'm a tenor. No, I'm a tenor. I know exactly what I'm doing. But she's a soprano. I met her at the University of Arizona. I also did meet Gustavo at the University of Arizona. And the great thing about her was that she had to face one of the most challenging adversities that you can actually find on earth. She did struggle with cancer. Young, 24, 25 years old at the time. That was 4 years ago. And it went in remission 3 years ago. And she actually had to let go of the bad habits. She was actually 55 pounds overweight. And talking about other coincidences, she actually started a company. The name of her company is actually Sexy Soprano. Being 55 pounds overweight, that was not sexy. And anyway, what happened is that in the last 3 years, her image completely changed. And the fact that she actually had cancer ended up, I guess now we understand what's going on. Check that out. It's probably my mom calling us like, hey, you're in TEDx. It's like, it's like, yes, I know. It's like, but let me finish. So what happened with, I tend to do this all the time. I tend to just grab a topic and then I just get distracted. It's like, oh, yeah. But let's focus for a second. Help me focus. Jenny had to face that terrible disease. And what I'm actually surprised about is that adversity, just as my financial adversities ended up shining a light on my emotions, my relationships, and other things, Jenny ended up learning about her health. Now, she doesn't only owns that company, Sexy Soprano. She actually is doing something called Beachbody. She's beautiful. I can't believe how much a person can actually change in 4 years. And or 3 seconds left. So what the message in the end is, sometimes we just have to struggle as much as possible, and it's going to cost us a lot. But it's the ones that actually are willing to let go of all those material things, you know. It's like, and sometimes it's the emotional things too, you know. It could be friends. It's like my friend Gustavo actually had that. I had to let go of a relationship. Jenny had to let go of 55 pounds. That sounds like a fair deal for me, you know. But yeah, I think you get the idea. So really, welcome to TEDxUIdaho. Thank you so much for listening, and hope you actually have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of the speakers, all right? Thank you. Bye.